Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped. Now, behind me is the i30N Fastback, delivered just this morning by Hyundai UK. It is my car for the next week, and I thought I needed to stretch its legs a little, take it on a little bit of a road trip. And as tomorrow is my birthday, I thought I would take it up north to visit Mama Petrol Ped, and I'm going to take a couple of furry friends with me because she's not met one of them before. This should be a bit of fun, and on the way we'll discuss whether this car is as good as it looks. I have a feeling it might be. So the i30N Fastback, I will give you more stats as we're on the way, but I think you'll agree with me, it's a handsome looking car. I love this particular spec. It's in white, it's got some nice red trims just around the front valance there. It's got a lovely set of diamond cut alloys. I think they look absolutely brilliant with the N logo on a red caliper. Very, very smart. But for me, it's when you get around the back of this car. This is the Fastback, not the hatch. I had the hatch last year, hugely impressed with it as a car, but I have to say I really like the styling of the Fastback. I think it looks better than the hatch. What I would say is though, all of these badges, that Fastback badge there, and I just think debadge it or just keep the i30N badge on there. It's got too much badging on there. But we are going only for a night. Now normally the petrol pup would travel in a crate in the boot. There isn't room for that, so we've got all of our stuff in there. There is a crate down there because she's going to sleep in it tonight, but loads of room in the boot to spare. But I have two furry travelling companions today. First of all, we have sat in the back the petrol Pooch. Now she is very, very used to travelling. She loves it actually, so she's got a little safety harness on here, so she's nice and safe in the back. Lots of space for her. She's going to have a good old sleep. And in the front, yeah, and the petrol pup is in the front. Now she's never travelled in the front seat of a car. She's got a little harness on as well, so we'll see how she gets on. She's not the best traveller in the world. She has been known to be a little bit car sick before. Hopefully you're not going to do that today, are you? No, we need to get going, get the air conditioning on. So let's jump behind the wheel and get cracking, and on the way we can talk a little bit more about this car. It is quite special. Right, let's go, dude. Oh, okay, first things first, we need to get this car started and get some air conditioning on. So, my seatbelt on, stop those bongs. Now, the really cool thing, if I remember rightly, is the sat-nav input on this is really, really super easy. There we go, we're in. Fantastic, set as destination. So what have we got, kids? You're all awake, and your sister's in the back fast asleep already. 184 miles, 3 hours. Sure I can beat that time. So yeah, we will get cracking. Now, what are the things I am going to do? A number of different drive modes in this car. This isn't a review of the car. I will do another one of those separate video, but from memory you stick it into custom mode. The full N mode, controlled by these little buttons on the steering wheel, is just far too harsh a ride in terms of suspension. But if you put it in custom, you can turn everything else to sport, auto rev matching, loud exhaust, ultimate response from the engine, but keep the suspension nice and soft. So I think we will go for that, kids. What do you reckon? Yeah? Right. Let's go. Well, it's safe to say this car is every bit as good as its hatchback sibling. I really enjoyed my time with the i30N Performance hatch, and the video's got great feedback and great reviews. There's some big i30N fans out there, and I must say they are remarkable value. But this form factor, this fastback shape, when I saw it earlier this year, I've been trying to get hold of one of these for quite a few months now. The press department at Hyundai don't have that many cars, and they have a huge demand, so big thanks to them for letting me have the car for a week. But I honestly think that the fastback format is a much more handsome car than the hatch. A little bit more grown up. I guess if you're a bit more boy racery sporty, you'd go for the hatch, but I really like the fastback. So we have done our little bit of B road, about 20 odd miles until you get some dual carriageway. I'm now on the A34 heading northbound. And I have one of those amazing things. 2 lorries overtaking each other, both with a 56-mile-an-hour speed limiter on them, going up a hill. What? That for me should be made illegal. Anyway, back to the car. Very comfy place to be. These seats, not only do they look great with a kind of mix of leather and Alcantara and red stitching, but they're really comfortable, really supportive, and very easy to adjust. So a really comfy place to be. I've set the cruise control on. Well, I will do once I get past this lorry trying to overtake another lorry. But so far, very good. What I am going to do as well is I'm going to do a real-world MPG test. What that means basically is I'm just going to drive how I would normally drive and see what the MPG is when I get there. Currently, after 25 miles, I'm running at just under 32 miles per gallon, which I guess isn't too bad, and I haven't pushed on that much yet. Maybe the most important thing is a pup day. She's, well, been very chilled, fast asleep. This is a bit of an experiment, this. So you may have seen my kind of hunting for a new car series where I talked about the fact that I've got 2 dogs and therefore I need somewhere to transport them. Well, this is an interesting experiment. This is a non-dog friendly car really, because you can't put them in the boot, but she seems to be doing all right there. Nice and happy, fast asleep, and I've got absolutely no worries about the one in the back because she just slept for England. Drove back from Cornwall yesterday, took 6 hours. Didn't move. Literally sat next to me in the Mini, in the front seat, didn't move for 6 hours. She loves the car. This one, she's still got a bit of, she needs to grow the love for the car and stop being sick in it. Well, I must say, as we're very nearly at the top of the A34, I am, how many miles into my journey? 80 miles into my journey. This is a really nice place to be. All the materials you touch and feel have a really nice premium quality feel to them. The steering wheel's great. All the tech on board is super easy to kind of navigate and work out. Touchscreen menus, really easy. I've changed radio stations a couple of times. I've made some phone calls. My sat-nav seems to be behaving itself. Brilliant. I didn't expect anything different, to be honest, but really, really nice car. So we've still got 88 miles to go. We've got a little bit of M40 now. Deep joy. What I would say is at cruising speed on the motorway, especially if the throttle, if you've got a bit of load on the throttle, it is a little bit drony. Not massively, but just a little bit. And now I am in custom, and in the settings I've got the exhaust to its sportiest setting, which is probably why it's like that, to be fair. It's not annoying me, but it's just worth pointing out. And to be honest, it's one of the few negative things I can think about to say about this car so far. It's really, really impressing me. Now, what I would love to know is what your thoughts are on this fastback style, especially compared to the hatch. So put in the comments, what do you think? Were you more of a fan of the hatch, or do you like the fastback? For me, I really like the fastback, and what I love about it in this particular spec is it's got that little black lip spoiler on the back. So we are now off the dual carriageway. We are less than 5 miles from Mama Petrol Ped's house. This is my old patch. This is where I learnt to drive. In fact, I can remember my dad bringing me down this very stretch of road when I first had L plates on the car. But I must say that when you put this car down some twisty roads, it's got a great feeling to it. It's got enough poke. It's only about the same horsepower as my Mini, and it's a little bit heavier, so it doesn't quite feel as up for it. But what I really love is it's got rev matching on the way down, automatically done for you, so you don't have to heel and toe. And you've got this quite subtle kind of cracks and pops coming out the exhaust when you're in N mode, or you've got the sports exhaust mode setting. But yeah, it's got a really nice feel to it. And it's funny, I've been in the car now for about 3 hours and sat on the motorway and dual carriageway, and it's such a competent car. But really, its home is the back roads, the B roads, where you can chuck it around a bit and have a bit of yahoo. We have arrived at our destination, Mama Petrol Ped's house, my family home where I grew up in sunny Nottinghamshire, and this one has done brilliantly. The seasoned traveller in the back, well, she's getting on for 8 years old now, so she's all right in the car, but the little one in the front, you've done really well, mate. You haven't been sick or anything. She's just been good as gold lying there, haven't you? Now, should we go into the garden, because I'm sure you'll probably need a little toilet break. So let's go and see Mama Petrol Ped. Right, let's get you unclipped. Lift you down. Oh, right then. No, this way. Halibov, this way, come on. In here, come on, let's go. No, in here.
This is Battersea Dog's home.
Mama Petrol Ped!
Where's he gone? Aha! Shut me legs. Oh, Christ.
Right, let's get you in the back garden. Come on, pups. So we have arrived with Mama Petrol Ped, and the Pooches are making themselves at home.
Here they are, look. Look at them sleeping here on my stool.
Say hello to your fan base, Mama Petrol Ped.
Yeah, my fan base. Yeah. I've got a fan base.
You have got a huge fan base.
Have I?
Yes.
Where are they when I need them?
They're all on YouTube.
Oh, tell them my garden needs watering.
The garden needs watering.
All my odd jobs, I need an old man to do my garden.
Oh.
Are there any old men to do
The pups are looking after, aren't you? Looking after her? Hmm? Look at that, what a shot. Well, it's time for bed. The two pups have had a very busy evening playing with all the people that have come to see them. Seeing Mama Petrol Ped and my sisters and nephews. They're very tired now. So Petrol Pup still sleeps in a crate because that's her safe place, but I'm sure she will graduate to a nice comfy bed like the Petrol Pooch soon. Night night, people. See you in the morning. Good morning, people. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me. So I've had a lovely morning with Mama Petrol Ped. The pups have had a nice walk. Are we ready for another 3-hour journey home? Let's get this car started, shall we? So yeah, really nice to see the family. I did have a plan of getting my mum out in the car this morning for a bit of an interview like we did last time, and it just didn't transpire at all. We kind of ran out of time for that, sadly. So let me stick my sat-nav on. Boom, it says destination. Off we go. Now we also have, interestingly, only 128 miles of range in terms of fuel, and 180 miles. So we will need to fuel up on the way home, not unsurprisingly. I'm pretty sure we did 35 miles to the gallon yesterday, which I don't think is too bad. So let's kind of see what we can get out of it this day. It's not great weather. We might have a little bit of rain. If it has a little bit of rain, I'm quite interested to see whether this car axle tramps like the hatch. That was my maybe one major criticism of the i30N performance hatch, is it axle tramped. So it bounced up and down on the front axles under heavy acceleration whenever you got a bit of wheel spin. So it'd be interesting to see whether this car does it too. Interestingly then, the need to refuel light came on with only 20 miles of range. I think that's quite tight. Most cars I've driven, it's normally 50 miles. So that was quite interesting, but I do need to pull over for some fuel because I now only have 15 miles of range, but I'm at the top of the A34. I still got 93 miles to go. Now my average MPG so far today, I have done 93 miles so far, and I'm averaging 30 miles to the gallon. So I have been maybe pushing on a little bit more because I want to get home. And for me, that's realistic miles per gallon, because let's face it, who of us drives around in economy mode when you've got a car like this? Nobody. So, safe to say this car has a 40-litre tank. Are we all right, pups? Excellent. Managed to get myself some Jamie Oliver sustenance. Excellent. Yeah, 40-litre tank. Oh, my goodness me, fuel's expensive on the motorway, isn't it? 58 quid. No, the food's not for you. So we should now have more than enough go-go juice to get us home. it is now properly raining. I forgot to say, by the way, a full tank in one of these gives you 300 miles of range at the current style of driving I'm doing, but I'm going to concentrate because it suddenly got very heavy rain. At least I might be able to see if I can get some axle tramping. Okay people, real world driving condition test. This rain is really, really bad. There is a ton of standing water in lane 2 currently, really bad. But the car feels really stable. It's not aquaplaning at all. Now it's only done, what, 5,800 miles, so the tyres are going to be pretty good. Plenty of tread depth on them, but I am, you know, holding on to the steering wheel because every now and again there's a big puddle in the outside lane here. But yeah, really impressive. Oh, we're nearly home now, just 30 miles. I do love the auto rev matching in this car. What I want to try and do, because the road's a bit wet here, is just try and do a pull away and see whether it's going to get some axle tramping. There you go. Yeah, exhaust excellent. Yes, it still does axle tramp a little bit. Honestly, I'm not sure what that is, and when I did the i30N hatch review and mentioned the axle tramp, loads of people said, oh, you can change the engine mounts and do this and that. You shouldn't have to do that. It shouldn't axle tramp like that out the box. Little bit of understeer, it is quite greasy, and a lot of understeer. A huge amount of understeer there. But yes, this car on a dual carriageway, super competent, lovely cruiser, nice and comfortable. But like I said when I was on my way to my mum's, the feeling you get on a B road, but now this B road's a little bit wet and a little bit greasy. The first sign of traction loss, no surprise really in a front wheel drive car, you just get a touch of understeer, and if you provoke it with some throttle at the same time, then that's not, but it's pretty good. Oh God, I love this car. I take it back about the axle tramping. While I haven't had the cameras rolling, I've tried a few times to invoke it, and this car is way, way better than the hatch I drove last year. In fact, I'd say it's only done it once in first gear and it's still pretty damp, so it's not nearly as bad as it used to be, but I'm very, very nearly home. In fact, I'm 3 miles from home. We're ready for a cup of tea. You're probably ready to go and have a wee, aren't you? Huh? Home, sweet home. We're home, girls. And yeah, that's 2 trips without being sick. That is... I reckon this is the way forward. Who needs to travel in a crate? I reckon you just go on the seat in your harness. Excellent. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. I know a little bit different. This was not meant to be a review. I will do a full review of this car, so please keep an eye out for that. Last bit of stats for you though. So that was 191 miles and I averaged 30.3 miles per gallon. So as I said, this car, if you drive it normally like most people would, I reckon 30 to 35 miles per gallon is a realistic MPG. But I hope you've enjoyed that. We just had a bit of fun, obviously, taking the pups up to see Mama Petrol Ped. I'm going to draw the video to a close. Shall we ask them for a thumbs up? Yeah, so if you've enjoyed that, please give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. I will see you on the next video, guys. But for me, the Petrol Pup and the Petrol Pooch, still fast asleep. In fact, you're still asleep, dude? Huh? Not impressed. I'll see you on the next film, guys. You take care. Drive safe.